around. I can't play these things. This is a Bob West Cowboy guitar. And Bob West, I don't think was actually a real person, but it was a catalog sort of company for as much as anybody can figure out for 2 years, from 1947 1948. And they had a small catalog. They sold this guitar, a couple other like normal, without the fancy paint job guitars, and you could buy like a trapeze and some parts for your guitar, tuners, things like that. It was a small, like 8 page catalog in the late 40s. So Bob West wasn't a cowboy like like Gene Autry or the Roy Smeck guy he was a legitimate guy, or Les Paul was a legitimate guy. Who was Bob West? I don't know, but his name's on there, and this was made by Harmony. Much like most of those cowboy guitars, almost all of them are made by Harmony. Richter is another company. There's a couple other ones. I'm sure Regal probably made some, but it's a standard-ish Harmony style Parlor guitar. 1948, we're going to call this, and it's solid wood. It's a solid birch body with your standard poplar neck. And when I got it, don't start screaming at me because I put the system on here. When I got it, there was no fretboard, okay? So it was already beat to crap. So I put a new fretboard on here. It's a cherry fretboard. It's stained dark, which is exactly the same thing they would have done, only they used a birched fretboard and stained it dark. And it reset perfectly. We got a new set of modern vintage tuners, a 3 on a strip that is designed for these sort of things. And then the piezo system, which has a tuner in there. You can turn that on and tune it, and it's got a lot of controls here, like mid, bass, treble, and a brilliance thing, which I've never figured out what that does. But they got a lot of power. You can get very scary loud with these things, and it sounds great. It's, basic piezo underneath a wooden bridge. Sounds good. I had to come up with a new trapeze because there was none on it, and it was originally 24-inch scale. My scale is 24 3/4, so that pushed the bridge back a little bit, and you can see the scars that remain where the previous bridge was just like 3/4 of an inch forward from there. So it now has 24 3/4 scale. It's a fairly honking neck. I mean, it's a big hard V. I actually shaved it down, but it's big and it's kind of wide. Let's see, I can't remember how wide it is. Might not be as wide as I think. We'll go with I'm not answering that. It's about 1 3/4. So it's a wide one, but it's comfortable. It also had, somebody played it because there's scratch marks on it. Somebody was a winger on there, and it was all dug up underneath here, and then its previous owner had put a pick guard on there, which was a crappy piece of plastic. It was all curled up, and they glued it on there. So it's a mess underneath there. So I had to make a new pick guard to cover up that mess. But it's your basic country scene, I guess. There's a guy playing the guitar with the girl and the cabin in the background. It's not the cowboy scene, it's the camping scene, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. But the guitar itself's in great shape. There's a couple minor cracks in the back that don't amount to anything. When I worked on the neck, I gave it I stained it to get it to match color as much as possible, and then gave it a Danish oil finish, which feels nice. And it's actually a good guitar. I mean, these Cowboy guitars, they get a lot of crap because, oh, it's just a joke. But, you know, it's like any Parlor guitar of the time. It just has the stencil paint job on it. And, of course, they couldn't get these things out of the factory fast enough, so there was never any attention given to the way that's set up, any of that. And then 50, 60, 70, 80 years later, it's that much worse condition. So that's why you get them today, and they're basically wall hangers unless you put a lot of work into them, which this has had a lot of work put into it, and it plays very well. Sounds very well. And it's equipped to play, you know, if you're a singer-songwriter standing up on stage, this would look good. It's a Bob West.